Well, I want to talk about my 1968 Plymouth GTX restoration project that I'm working on, and this is a brochure from 1967 for the 68. This shows a lot of the options in it. Pretty interesting stuff. Talks about the factory tack, which mine has, and the turn signal indicator. It's got cruise control. Mine doesn't have that. Has AM radio, wood style steering wheel. And then I want to talk about these wheels, which mine has. I've got another pair too. We always called them Magnum 500 wheels, but they're actually, Chrysler called them the chrome, let's see, what was it? It called it the chrome plated steel road wheels. These right there, which I have a set on mine, and then I had another set that I got off of a friend of mine. These came off of a Charger, 68 Charger. And the fellow, when he first bought the car, he immediately put SS Kragers on it, and these were in his attic for years and years. And then I got them, did a trade or something. I don't even remember. I've had them so long. But I'm eventually going to put some red stripe tires on them to back to how it originally came. You can possibly see in the, that's what I like for them to look like on the car once I get it up and running and all the metal completed on it. But these wheels were made by a company. They were designed in 1966 and they came out in 67 to be placed on the cars, which I'm assuming it was probably the first year of the GTX in 1967. They were produced by a company out of Lansing, Michigan called Motor Wheel Corporation. And they were 14 by 5.5 for the B bodies, and if you had a C body like a Fury, they were 14 by 6. Then they were sold by the company as an aftermarket, and that's where the term or the name Magnum 500s came from. That's what they were marketed as. But Chrysler called them the chrome plated steel road wheels. And these things, this doesn't have trim rings on them. They were chrome. And in 1967 and 68 models, they were chrome. In 1969, they started putting, we always called it beauty rings, but they refer as it as trim rings. In 1969 was the first year for the trim rings, and it had anchoring points at 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 3 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. And it had a round hole in it for where the air nozzle went. And there was lots of trouble with those things because they didn't hang on tight and they came off. That was in 1969. So in 1970 through 75, they redesigned the beauty rings or trim rings to have a finger-like way of them attaching to the wheel, and they claimed they were extremely hard to get off, so they didn't ever come off. Now these things also, a lot of you people that's had these old Chryslers know that you have on the right side of your car you have right-handed threads, and on the left side you have left-handed threads. And I've had several broke when I went to the tire shop to have them change out the tires, and the technician didn't know, and he would try to zip them off and just broke a lug, and that's always fun to put a new one in if you can find a left-handed thread one, which you still can, but they, like everything else on them, it costs. But I was reading these center caps later on, I think it was in 1975, they extended them. These are supposed to be like 2 inches, and now they're or the later ones were 2 1/4. Not exactly sure why they did that, but anyhow. But this is, like I said, this is the brochure. It has for 1968. It's got some. Well, I'd love to have a convertible. That's the chrome plated steel wheels, which is like this one. And that's a 440 Super Commando motor and 426 Hemi that it came in. These are all the different ones: Sport Satellite, the Belvedere Satellite, 1968 Satellite with the interior, another convertible Satellite. There's a Roadrunner, 1968, first year of the Roadrunner. I like the blacked out hood. And of course that one, big Hemi in it. 4-speed shifter. The Belvedere 4-door station wagon. Belvedere station wagon, Satellite station wagon. And that's all the options. And this is all the 440. Came in all the particulars on those specifications, standard features, whatnot. This is the brochure, the back of the brochure for the 1968 Plymouth Belvedere line midsize.